Happy Monday, everyone. I would just like to share some encouraging words with you today on this Monday as we move forward into the rest of our week. But I would like to start by thanking Divine Divinity Charity Lutheran Church in Milwaukee for allowing me to speak this Saturday to your group. I really enjoyed talking about our ministry with all of you. And my encouraging words for this Monday stem from a discussion that I had with a small group of the women that I spoke with during my presentation after my presentation. So one of the women asked me how I got started at New Beginnings. And I can honestly say that my beginning at New Beginnings was nothing less than God's plan for my life. It wasn't something that I could have come up with on my own, and I see that now, but I certainly didn't see it in the moment. Let me explain what I mean by that. So I graduated from Milwaukee, UW Milwaukee, with a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I thought I would go on to graduate school to get a PhD in counseling. That was my plan for my life, not God's plan for my life, but I didn't get in, and I didn't understand why I didn't get in. In fact, I was quite devastated that that happened. But shortly after not getting into graduate school, I started working at Children's Hospital, which is right across the street from what would become New Beginnings. I drove past it every single day as I went to work, but little did I know that this would soon become a home for mothers and that I would be starting that home for mothers at that location. And I worked in the pediatric emergency department with children who are coming in with very violent injuries. And it really opened my eyes up to the violence and the terrible things that happen in Milwaukee. And I see now that God was preparing me for what was to come. I ended up going home for church, to my home church in Hartford, where my parents live, to sing in church on a Sunday. And it happened to be in the bulletin for church that they were looking for someone to fill the position or start New Beginnings in the Milwaukee area. And I wasn't looking for another job. In fact, I didn't really want another job at the time. But when the pastor from the church, who is the founder of New Beginnings, Pastor Robert Fleischman, showed up at the exact same coffee shop that I was at after church, I felt like I have to talk to him. So I did, and here I am. Like I said, nothing less than God's plan. So I would just like to thank supporters and churches like Divine Divinity Charity Lutheran Church for supporting New Beginnings, because we're able to share the message of God and God's plan for our residents' lives to the mothers and babies at New Beginnings, and we wouldn't be able to do that without your support. So as we move forward this week, my words of encouragement come straight from Jeremiah 29:11, and that is, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Thank you again. God's blessings on your week.